So Caio Borrlaho comes out and he beats the fraud check allegations and defeats Jared Cannonier. And if you guys watch this fight, this was one of the best fights I think so far this year. I mean, it looked like Jared Cannonier died in there, as we can see from the comment here. I mean, this was a just great fight. It looked like both of these guys were very even going into that final round. Many had it maybe 2-2, depending on the final judges' scorecards. I think there was a few different, but obviously, as we know, Borralho went out there and won that 5th round pretty decisively, almost knocking out Cannonier. As Cannonier's last fight against Imavov, they called it early, so they wanted to make sure that if Cannonier got knocked out in this fight, he actually got knocked out this time. So they let it go, even though, in my opinion, it should have been a stoppage. But what is next for Borralho, as he just proved that he's going to be coming into this top 5 of the rankings, probably going to take Cannonier's spot here. He called out Dricus du Plessis. Is that going to happen? No. Dricus du Plessis is going to fight Sean Strickland in his next fight. I think this is almost pretty much written, set in stone right now. If not, the only other possibility I could see for du Plessis' next fight is if Khamzat goes out and beats Robert Whittaker and they try to force that Khamzat versus du Plessis fight. That's the only other option that I really see right now on the table from the UFC, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to sneak that one in somehow and get it past Sean Strickland. Do I want to see Sean Strickland versus du Plessis again? Not really. Is Sean Strickland at the top of this division right now, though, after Izzy's loss, and with Robert Whittaker being up there, who might lose to Khamzat, probably will lose to Khamzat, and the other guys in the top 5 right now being Borralho, Imavov, Martin Vettori, which we haven't seen in a while, and Brendan Allen. I guess it makes sense that Sean Strickland gets that next title fight. Hopefully du Plessis can knock him out this time. He did beat him in that first fight, and I know all the Sean Strickland fanboys are going to come out this, and they're all going to be upset that I just said that he won that first fight, even though he did. Du Plessis won the fight on the scorecards. If you watch the fight, I don't know. In my opinion, he won. Sean Strickland went out there and he jabbed his way to death the whole time, which we just saw against Paulo Costa. Sean Strickland is a boring fighter, and I hope he loses this next fight against du Plessis so we can get him out and usher in this new era. Imavov, great young fighter who we just also saw, like I said, knock out Cannonier a few months ago at the beginning of the summer. Cannonier is probably going to fall down here, probably going to be in this weird area where going to be going up against maybe Paulo Costa. I mean, he's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see where he's going to be next. But with the rest of these guys in the top 5, I mean, who is Borralho going to fight next? That's the main question, and I think there's a perfect answer. Imavov just knocked out Cannonier. He's going up against Brendan Allen here, and if we take a look, Imavov right now at 4, Brendan Allen here at 7. Now, Robert Whittaker is going to be going up against Khamzat, which is also going to be happening soon. Imavov is going to be fighting on a fight night in September 28th, So we're going to see him, if he wins that fight, stay within this top 5. If he loses, Brendan Allen's obviously going to move into this top 4 area. If Imavov wins, I think there's a lot of moving pieces right now in the middleweight division besides the top, because du Plessis is obviously going to stay champion for a while. I would be surprised if he fights within the next 6 months. As a champion right now, it just seems like there's not very many active champions, so I guess I don't blame him if he wants to wait another 6 months. Going up against Sean Strickland again, we kind of know what we're going to get, so I wouldn't be surprised if they want to wait, kind of move that one back, and not wait until they need a card like that. Because I don't think they really need any cards to save right now, so that might be a card that they try to build up. I'm not really sure exactly what's going to happen, if they're going to try to get that South Africa card, which I don't even know if that's logistically going to be able to happen. Who knows? But du Plessis is going to be the champion now, and Sean Strickland probably going to get that fight. Outside of that, I mean, if Khamzat wins, does he go to number 2? Does he take Izzy's spot? Where does Izzy go? That's also an interesting thing that I feel like we haven't talked enough about with these rankings. So I don't know. That'll be interesting. Dan Hooker moved up 6 spots. Izzy just didn't even move anywhere. No one's moved. So who knows? it is interesting that he's still at number 2. Whitaker could easily be taken out. If he loses to Khamzat's just going to swoop into that top 3 area. And like I said before, I think Borralho is going to move right into here, right at 5 with Cannonier. So where does that put the rest of these guys? Let's say Dricus and Sean Strickland fight. The winner of that obviously is the champion. The other one should trickle down a little bit. Then what do we see after that? We see Imavov, or I guess Imavov/Allen, the winner of that, going up against Borralho. I think he can wait a little while. This one's going to be happening, like I said, in just about a month from now. So I think the timelines should be able to match up pretty well. Borralho is going to need some time off after that, especially after that deep cut under his eye. It's going to take a little while. So I wouldn't be surprised if that one's kind of pushed off for a little while. And then we see, I don't know if that's exactly the number 1 title bout, number 1 contender bout, if it's going to be 2 top 5 guys, maybe even top 4 guys. I guess it just depends on what goes on around this area. Sean Strickland and Izzy keeping the 1 and 2 spots hostage right now, when there's so many great young guys that we can see. All these guys that I just mentioned too, depending on who wins this Imavov-Brandon Allen fight, could get up there and have a fight against Dricus, who's only 30 years old as a champion too, entering his prime. I think he's going to be up there for a little while, depending on if he holds the championship or if he fights his way back up. If he loses it, a very good fighter. Borralho, who we just saw at 12, is going to move into the top 5. Khamzat at 11, going to be going up against number 3 Robert Whitaker. Could win that fight easily within the top 3 there. Once again, there's a lot of good young guys in this division right now. And I think there's some older guys that are holding it up. We're starting to see them kind of fall off a little bit. Paulo Costa, just get him out. I don't want to see him fight anymore. If he's going to fight someone, Kevin Holland, if he goes out there and beats Delice, who he should have been fighting against Chris Curtis, who actually he should have been fighting against Cannonier in the first place, which he signed on for, but I guess Cannonier didn't want the fight. If Kevin Holland beat Cannonier, Kevin Holland would have been in the top 5 right now. And we can get to that on another day. Obviously, you guys know Kevin Holland fan page over here. But for now, I think the perfect fight after that fantastic fight, which we just witnessed from Borralho, would be going up against the winner of Imavov versus Brandon Allen. And then after that, there's a lot of different things that we could see. Maybe the winner of that one goes up against Khamzat. As we know, he's only going to be fighting once in a blue moon anyway. But I'd assume that if Khamzat beats Robert Whitaker, he gets the next title shot, the winner of Sean Strickland versus Duplessis. And then maybe the winner of that would get the winner of Imavov versus Brandon Allen versus Borralho. If you guys are keeping track, I'm trying to move. I mean, this could be 2 years of fights right there for the championship. So if the UFC needs someone to hire, I just figured out the whole roadmap for you guys right there pretty easily. Let me know down below what you guys think. Borralho went out there, got everything done that he needs to get done. Fantastic fight from him. And also shout out Jared Cannonier, still getting good fights out there at age 40. A great card overall. So let me know down below what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one.